What's the greatest challenge of playing Chess 960?
The greatest challenge, I think, of playing 960 is probably being white, actually. And I mean, sort of that's a bit joking, but also serious in that there are quite a few positions where it seems like when black plays symmetrically, it's very difficult for white to prove anything, get an advantage, or not even end up just flat out worse. So I think playing with white is surprisingly tricky because most of the time in symmetrical setups, there aren't clear ideas. And if you're white, it's on you to come up with something much more so than on black.
Some say that, you should remember how to castle because the rule of a castle changes depending on the opening position.
It just takes some time to get used to this castling. It's just different compared to the normal chess. I mean, it's just different.
For some reason, after 15 moves or 20 moves position, it's more or less like regular chess. But the first part is a bit more difficult. Pieces look a bit weird at first, and that's maybe the hardest part.
Kasparov once said about the starting position in chess, he said that the opening is the most complicated part of the game because there's the most pieces on the board, there's the most possibilities. We don't really think about it because we have all this opening knowledge that helps us get through it. But if you took all that away, which is basically what you're doing when you give us like a new starting position, we're completely on our own, and we realize that the opening is the most complicated and most difficult part of the game, and getting a decent position of the opening is not easy at all, especially if your opponent is playing aggressively, if he knows what he's doing, and if he's putting pressure on you, it's very easy to get a bad position.
The biggest challenge has to be getting to grips with what the position demands. I feel I'm not the best at that, sadly for me, because I think this is maybe the major thing that sets apart sort of the best from merely good in this format. The faster you come to grips with what the position needs, the better your results will be.
Just understanding the whole concept of development and where should you develop, and breaking the stereotypes that are encoded in any player. I think that's the hardest thing.
I think it challenges our creativity because we used to play traditional chess, and every position has its own specific geometry. So the weak spots, the potentially eating squares that you should take control of as early as you can, and changing this geometry and also the way the pieces are located, which means that they will have to look for different routes to be developed for the middle game. It creates new challenge every time.